It's always something new every time I come in. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I get used to the old stuff?
I know. Oh, there we are.
We're not. This ain't good. Hi, everyone. We're not all the way in the shot.
Yeah, I see it too. I see what you see.
Thank you. Good grief. Maybe they think that I have an issue or something.
Yep.
Okay, well. Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Hey,
there we go.
How y'all doing?
Okay.
It looks like that on y'all's, but it ain't on my. Hey, Mom.
And then our phone is. Mine is kind of slow, like it's delayed a little bit.
Yeah, it's delayed here.
Okay.
Okay, I like the little setup. I feel like I should scoot over a little bit more. We're ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
Stop. To come to an end, cease to happen. The denoting one or more particular things already mentioned or assumed. Silence. Complete absence of sound. Stop the silence. Stop the silence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stop the Silence. I'm Ebony Dixon, the baby jumper, and I am here with a very special guest today.
Hello.
Miss Briana Whitaker. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I've been kind of watching you from a distance. I'm like, hey, man, we got a little something in common.
All right.
I was looking at your little purity thing and
Yeah.
stuff, and I was thinking about how I keep praying, and it's just, bless the Lord.
He's a keeper.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Tamika is still out. Y'all keep praying for her. Send her some well wishes and all that good stuff. She's not sick or in an accident or anything. I know that's what it sounded like, but she's doing well. So Miss Briana, for those that don't know who you are, could you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, as you said, I'm Briana Whitaker, and I'm a wife. I'm a mother of a 2-year-old.
Oh.
Just turned 2. So, that says a lot right there.
Climbing all over everything and everything.
Yes. I'm an author. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I'm an author of 2 books now.
Okay.
Yes. I, by day, I'm a school counselor.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then, in my off time, I write and, I worship at the Enon Missionary Baptist Church in Sumter.
Okay.
So I do a lot in my ministry, and I love the Lord.
Me too.
I love the Lord, Ebony.
Me too. I loves him too. Well, we're so glad to have you on the show today. I know we met via Facebook. I was looking at something that you were promoting. It's actually your second book.
Yeah.
So let's. You also do speaking. Speaking engagements?
Yes, okay. I do. I do speaking engagements, women's conferences. I've done a workshop, primarily devoted to waiting on God.
Okay.
And things of that nature. So, I do speaking engagements, and I have a radio show as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
we're going to tell you about that a little bit later. So
yes.
You can tune in. I'm going to tune in because, I'm at a place where I'm gleaning from people. I interview people just off in Walmart, just because I want to know your story, because everybody's story is different. That doesn't necessarily to be mine, but just to, glean a little bit from other people's testimony is just, I think it's wise.
That's right. That's how we grow and learn.
That's exactly right. So tell us a little bit about you being a counselor, though. So what grade do you counsel?
Oh, well, I actually am the counselor at the Early Childhood Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Manning. So I work with the babies.
Right.
I didn't originally want to do that because I didn't think that I would be good with that age group. I started out teaching middle school.
Okay.
And so that's a whole nother story right there, too. Yeah. And when I became a counselor, I was a counselor for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, which is very similar to the middle school experience. But then I was moved to the Early Childhood Center with my pre-K, K-5, and 1st grade students, and I love it.
Oh,
yes, they're so sweet,
they
love me.
Yeah,
so I love them too.
So when you say that wasn't really your choice, like how did you end up going to the K through 5?
Oh, that was strictly an administrative decision.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because they needed a full-time counselor at that school.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, they thought I would be a good fit there, and they were right.
What was the adjustment like?
Well, mentally, it was a little rough at first when I found out, that I would be switching. But I had a lot of help from the teachers. I learned from them what strategies can I use, for these babies, because I'm not used to working with, children this age. So I had a lot of support, from my principal and from the teachers in the school, and I picked it up and thriving, girl.
See, the things you think you're not good at or good for, and then you get into them, you be like, this is my life.
That's it. This is it.
All about stepping out of boxes, huh?
That's right.
A little spontaneity, a little spice. That's a side joke, y'all. Okay, cool. That is cool. That's cool because I know that like kids need that nurturing and the compassion from the teachers that a lot of people say is lacking, but there are always a lot out there compared to a lot that aren't. Right. And it's good that your face just lit up when you talked about the little baby. So
yes, I do love it. And it's good to be able to wake up every morning and, enjoy going to work.
That makes a difference.
And and know that, I'm good at this.
Right.
Right. I'm thriving here. I'm not just surviving. I'm thriving and I'm doing well. So
that's a word. I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving.
Oh, Jesus.
We're going to come on back with more from Miss Briana. Yes.
That was a quick first segment.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be like, pew. Okay, so then we're going to talk about your books and stuff.
Okay.
Thank you, Carlin. Thank you, Carlin, Mommy and Auntie. Thank you, Darren, for joining.
Oh, it's Miss Martha, your mom?
Yes.
Hello there, Miss Martha Dixon. And Barbara Cook. Those are like
Miss Margot, hey. Chris, hey. Hi, Freethinkers Radio. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Miss Briana Whitaker. She is an author, a speaker, and a counselor, and we are going to talk about her books, which are near and dear to my heart because of my own personal journey. So, waiting on God and protecting your purity, that has been my life for the past decade, just about.
All right.
So, I'm pretty excited about talking about this.
That's awesome. Now, I have a question for you. So how did you get the name The Baby Jumper? I do want to guess. Wait, don't tell me yet. I want to guess.
You can guess.
Because I was like, okay, there's got to be some deep, spiritual name here. Does it have anything to do with Elizabeth and Mary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. There was a series of things that happened in a course of 8 days. And that's the long version. But the short version is, I believe that we're all pregnant with a purpose, the purpose that God has placed in us. And the Bible was talking about when Mary went to visit her cousin Elizabeth, who was pregnant at the time. It said immediately when she began to speak, Elizabeth's baby leaped in her womb. And I just pray that whatever I say is making that purposed baby in you jump. Whether it be male or female, because we're all pregnant with a purpose.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, just know how powerful words are in written form, audible form, whatever form. Like, they can really set people on different paths.
Exactly.
Negative
or the
positive.
Opposite. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If not used wisely.
Right. And we just think about how many times people have been told they'll never be anything or just negative things growing up, and they kind of take that on as who they are.
Right.
But that is a lie.
Definitely.
So you got to go through the process of, I call it a chiseling process. Process of chiseling all of that stuff off of you and then being revealed as who God really made you to be.
Exactly.
And embracing that.
Exactly. And continue to speak that over yourself too.
Right. That's the hard part. Because you've meditated on the negative so much that it's become a part, it's a habitual thought process for you.
Right.
And breaking that is a whole nother process that you have to want to go through. Because it can be painful.
Definitely. I agree. Change your thoughts.
Change your
words.
Change your
habits. Your actions. That's right.
I got me a new friend, y'all.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
You have just heard Chicky Baritone. He exists. Ladies, he exists. He out there. You just get ready for him. That's all I got to say about that. So, Miss Briana, we have two wonderful books here that we have. If you are watching us live, we have Wait on God, and then we also have Protect Your Purity 101. Mm-hmm. So we are going to talk about Wait on God first, because that is your first book that you wrote, right?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that book.
Well, Wait on God, I published that in 2015.
Okay.
And the book... Well, let me just give a little bit of my backstory, right? Okay. So I was, I guess you could say, maybe say a typical single Christian woman. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be married, but things just didn't seem to be panning out the way that I thought they should.
Yes, I know about that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had my plan. I'm going to be married by the age 25. I want to have, 2 kids and all this stuff. And so here I am, 29, and it's like, okay, nobody. Like, where's it? There is nobody. Okay, Lord, what are you doing? And so, I became anxious, and I had my moments where I doubted, that God was going to come through and, bring my husband in my life. And then he had to, in his own very special way, bring me back to reality.
Yes, he will do that.
He would do that. Yes, he will. Bring me back and say, okay, you need to settle down. You need to settle down. And just a series of word, that I received every time I would get in that place of unrest. He would always bring me back.
Right.
And so, long story short, there's a long story in the middle of that too, but I'm just going to skip to actually writing the book. So when I, at the age of 30, I did marry my Boaz, my husband. His name is
Boaz.
His name is Russell Whitaker. And I married as a virgin.
Oh, can I get a high five? I want y'all to hear that. Did y'all hear that high five? Do it one more time. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Wow.
So I married as a 30-year-old virgin, and I was riding in my car one day. Actually, I was on my way to Chick-fil-A. And the Holy Spirit, put in my spirit that I needed to share this story with other women, because I know I wasn't the only one.
Right.
Who had been in this headspace, gosh, when is it going to happen? Lord, I'm trying to do things your way, and it just doesn't seem to be working out for me.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, excuse me. He gave me the outline, the title and the outline of the book right there in the car. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to write this. And I had already had a dream to write a book anyway, but it was about something completely different.
Right.
But God said, no, this is the one that you're going to birth. And so it took me 3 years to write it. I was on again, off again, putting it down, fearing, who's going to want to read this?
Oh my gosh.
Who's going to want to read my story? Nobody's going to care. How am I going to pay for it? All this and that. The enemy, trying to stop me. And then one night we had our visionary worship services, celebrating our pastor. And the prophet came and he said, somebody in this room has been working on a project for 3 years. He didn't call my name, but he called my name.
Right.
That baby jumped in my spirit.
You better talk about it.
Come on, Jesus. So he said, somebody's been working on a project for 3 years. And I'm like, oh, that's me, Lord. And he said, and the Lord is going to fund your project.
Wow. No.
I took out running.
Right. No.
That's it. And I think I had been maybe about 75% done with the manuscript.
Right.
And after that, I just went to writing. Let me get this thing done because it's time.
Right.
And a couple of months later, it was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about you marrying as a virgin. I want to ask you about that because it seems to be a rarity nowadays. What was your motivation to keep yourself until you got married?
Okay, great. It was not always spiritual reasons. When I was younger, the way my conscience is set up, okay, I was deathly afraid of my mother.
Oh, the mamas, boy, they make you, I ain't lying, boy, they, ooh.
Yes, my mother, she's a very sweet lady, and I can count on one hand how many, spankings I actually got as a child, but
I don't have any more hands for that.
She put...
Love you, Mom.
She put the fear of God in my heart, you know, really. And I really never wanted to disappoint my mother. I told her everything. We talked about it all. And I never wanted to come to her with that.
Right.
And I told everything on myself anyway. You know, so I did this, Mom.
But that's just like with your relationship with God.
Exactly.
You know, just tell on yourself.
Exactly. The guilt would eat me up.
Right,
so I was like, you know, I'm not even going to go there. And, you know, she always made me feel special anyway. So there really wasn't anything that a guy could tell me to make me want to lower that standard. And then, you know, when I got saved and got to know the Lord and what his will was, it kind of transitioned over to me not wanting to disappoint him and not wanting to come to him with, oh God, I messed up, even though he would know anyway. But, you know, I think that's what it was for me.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I hope somebody's encouraged by that. So we were talking a little bit about how one of the chapters in your book, Wait on God, was basically like a spinoff to Protecting Your Purity 101. So how did that come about?
So Protect Your Purity came about because in January, I started a Facebook community called Protect Your Purity 101.
Okay.
And so I had that group in place, and I wanted to start that group as a way to encourage and motivate other single Christian women who wanted to live a life of purity through celibacy or abstinence. And so I started that group. And
could you explain the difference between celibacy and abstinence to those who may not really know?
Well, okay, so I'm not 100%, but in my mind, abstinence is where you've never indulged, and celibacy is where you have, and you're just recommitting to not do it again until you marry or never again.
All right.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah, because there's a difference between the two. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to write the book as a way to encourage them and give them some practical and spiritual tips to protect their purity and maintain their walk. And so that's why I wrote that book. And also too, the chapter in Wait on God is about abstaining. A lot of people wanted me to speak on that topic.
Right.
And so I figured, okay, well, they want more of this. So let me give the people what they want. Right. You know, and just share.
Not only that, but what they need.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So that's why I wrote Protect Your Purity 101. I wanted to be able to give them a resource in their hands that they could read, look at, you know, and it's not long. It's a short book. It's an easy read, but it's packed full of spiritual knowledge and wisdom and things that if they utilize it, they will be successful.
Right.
So
I know that for me and my journey, deciding to be abstinent was it was more to it than just not having sexual relations with someone. It was more mental than anything. I mean, it's like the things that you meditate on it's a trigger. You know, it can definitely be a trigger. So it's like I had to learn for me that if I didn't change the things that I was thinking about, like constantly thinking about being with someone or constantly thinking about being intimate with someone, because that was how I defined my relationships back in the days. Like if we weren't intimate, then I would feel like, oh, maybe he doesn't like me, you know, but nobody was ever there to really explain that whole process to me. So that was my way of feeling like I was loved by that person.
Yeah. I think that's what it is for a lot of women and why they succumb to the pressures because it's emotional. Yeah. Because we are emotional creatures, you know, so if I'm going to feel love or loved, I give my body over, but that's not God's design for that, you know, outside of marriage.
Right. What would you say to a young lady who feels that way? How would you start the conversation of maybe she needs to think a different way about how she's feeling loved?
Right. Well, I would say that she needs to be saved and she needs to begin a relationship with Jesus Christ first and foremost, because we are complete in Him. We're not complete in a man. We're not complete in a relationship. We're complete in Him. And so He's the one that is going to fulfill us. You know, I'm married. I'm happily married. I love my husband dearly, but he doesn't fulfill me in the parts that only God can fulfill. Right. You know, He doesn't complete me. He complements me. He doesn't complete me. And so I would begin that conversation with her in that regard. establish and build your relationship with Jesus Christ first and foremost, because you cannot walk the walk of purity without him anyway.
Let me tell you something. That ain't nothing but the truth, the whole truth. So help me God.
Yeah, you can't. It's a faith walk. You cannot do it, in and of yourself. And your will is not even enough.
It isn't.
You just saying, I want to do this is not enough. You have to have the Holy Ghost to help you with this.
Right.
So, that's what I would say to her.
Wow. Okay, so that brings me to another question. Would you say that your book is applicable to someone who is a non-believer?
Someone else asked me that actually when I was publishing it. They wanted me to kind of change some of the wording a little bit to sound more general.
Right.
And I would say if it is applicable to a non-believer, if they are searching for an answer, because Jesus Christ is the answer. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't willing to change the wording, because I figure if a non-believer picks this book up, then they're hearing the message of Jesus Christ.
Right.
And then that could be the thing that draws them in or wins them over for him. So because it is full of word.
Yeah.
It's scripture down. Okay.
The word is the word is life. Okay.
Exactly.
It is life. It is a guide. It is all of that. And without it, I mean, it's just, there's just no fulfillment without it.
Not at all.
So I was going to ask you about if somebody was on an adventure of thinking about writing a book, but just like you, and you was like, no, maybe nobody wants to hear it, or, they're going back and forth about whether they should write it or not. What would you say? What kind of tips or advice would you give someone that's thinking about writing their own book?
I would say go ahead and start.
How would they start?
Write, every day. Whatever is on your heart, go ahead and start writing it down. Go ahead and start journaling those thoughts. Seek help. I know she's not here, but someone like a Tamika Sims, who
like a writing coach.
Exactly, a writing coach that can help you flesh out those ideas and get your content together. And I see a lot of people that are writing books, and that's one of my pet peeves. When I see a book that is poorly written and poorly put together, because they did not get the help that they needed. You have wonderful ideas, but you need to be able to present it in a way that people will want to read it.
Right.
You could have great content, but if it's poorly written, who's going to benefit from that?
Right.
I'm having a hard time getting through the sentences and all of this. So I would definitely say get help.
Right.
Seek out a writing coach and just don't quit. Don't give up, because the only person that doesn't want you to succeed and doesn't want you to share your story, is the enemy. So somebody out there can benefit from your story. So definitely don't give up on yourself.
Right.
And don't give up on the dream and the desire that God put in your spirit to write a book.
Right.
Just start. Do it.
That's right. Just meditate on that for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we often will talk ourselves out of things before we even start.
We definitely will.
Yeah.
Get a computer and just start typing. If you just do 10 minutes a day, just do something toward it.
Say to someone that
we'll be back.
We have nothing in common.
Yay!
We don't see.
Hey, Sierra.
Oh, John. Look at John Lakin.
Look at John. He said he's so proud of you.
Thank you, John.
What's going on, Dion? Mom, are you questioning the multiple spankings that I received as a child? Is that what all the question marks are about? I'm just wondering.
She said, why you put me out there like that?
She knows. She ain't shamed.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey.
Sometimes.
It may be who I am today.
That's right. That's right.
You like that, Sierra? Yeah, Darren be trying to do a little something. He be trying to do a little something.
Because it's what Jesus died for us.
So cool.
Bore the sins of the world on the cross, died, and then rose again. And if you don't believe that and have a relationship
did I already do the writing tips part?
You did.
That's next.
Okay. Okay, great. Next, we're going to just talk about
how can you raise a family on unstable foundations?
Get in touch with you.
That's just
you just want to give out your social media. We're going to talk about where they can purchase your books.
The only begotten Son.
If they wanted to
secret
seek you out for a speaking engagement.
Sometimes
about your shirt.
I wear jeans and sneakers because
that's a whole lot. We got to get it. You see that little pink area? We got to get it in there.
Back in with a prayer to the Most High God in the name of Jesus, then us please depart. And if you want me to partake in traditions such as Santa over conception, so Easter Bunny over resurrection, then you got the wrong one, baby.
Miss Sabrina said, how can she get an autographed copy of your 2 books?
Miss Sabrina, you can visit my website, www.brianagwhitaker.com, and you can purchase the books there.
Okay.
The autographed copies.
So I have
because they're on Amazon, but of course that would be a digital version on Amazon.
Poster on the wall of my
Great question, though.
Yeah. And we're gonna say it over and over again, so you don't forget it.
And of course, I don't know where you're from, Sabrina, but if you live in the Sumter area, then I can hand deliver it to you.
When I retire from this life. But jewels far more precious than rubies will be left behind.
Where are you from, Sabrina?
One day when she decides to be a wife. See, we have to be on common ground. So come on down and sup with he. Invite him in to break bread. Invite
Sabrina, where are you from, sweetie?
Your head, your pride, those lies. Trade sorrow, that pain, your shame.
She leads the singles ministry. She's in Raleigh. Okay. Yeah, I need to mail that to you, sweetie.
Pick you up.
Unless you're having me come to speak to your singles ministry now.
Hey, yeah.
Because I can do that too.
That's right.
Yourself.
What was it? I went to
So when you grow up, we can become uncommon together.
That was the Baby Jumper with On Common Ground. We are sitting here talking with Miss Briana Whitaker, author of Wait on God, and your second book. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Protect Your Purity. Why did that slip my mind? I don't know. Protect Your Purity 101. Could you please, for anybody who is interested in having you come speak at their events, or if they want to purchase your book, could you please tell them how they can get in touch with you?
Yes, you can certainly find me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Briana G. Whitaker. I spend a lot of time on Facebook, so you could send me an inbox there, or you can email me at brianagwhitaker.com. My website is www.brianagwhitaker.com, and you can purchase books on that website, and I can autograph them for you and send them to you.
Sounds good.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us about this T-shirt that you have on, ma'am?
Oh, yes. This T-shirt is really my message in a nutshell. I'll settle for nothing less than God's best.
Yes.
Yes, that's my motto, and that's what I try to encourage people to do.
Right.
Never settle for less than what God promised you that you can have in His Word, because He's made everything available to us in His Word. We just have to maintain the standard so that we can receive all that He has for us.
And patience and faith.
Yes, we will possess the promises.
We got to hold on.
Yes, definitely. Did you mention the radio show just now?
No, I was about to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay, girl. Yes, you all. Miss Briana Whitaker and her husband, Mr. Russell Whitaker, they have a radio show. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So my husband and I had an opportunity back in March to start a radio show called Dating the Kingdom Way.
Wow.
And it's on powerandpraiseradio.com. And basically on that show, we talk to kingdom couples and kingdom singles, about how they can, live to please God in their relationships and walk the road of holiness, even as a dating person or as a married person, because we deal with all sorts of relationships. And so it's been a blessing. We have a lot of fun on the show. We have guests, and sometimes it's just me and him hanging out, talking about our story. So,
oh, wow. I would like something like that, because sometimes, even with being single and walking this journey of trying to, stay pure and live a life that's pleasing to God. Sometimes you get discouraged because you see other people getting married, or you see other people getting married 5 and 6 times and having families and stuff. You're like, well, God, what about me?
Exactly.
And then you tend to want to lower your standard because you feel like it's never going to happen.
Definitely.
So something like that, I think would be awesome to listen to.
Yeah, you can join us.
Listen, child, go on with me on that. Listen, I'm pretty transparent about my walk. So, what days does it come on and the time?
It's every first and third Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, on powerandpraiseradio.com.
Okay, wow. I'm looking forward to that. And I would encourage anyone who's out there single to also do the same. This was one question I wanted to ask you about your book. Is it also applicable to men, or is it just for ladies only?
Well, of course a man can read it, but I am addressing the sister.
You're addressing the sister.
I'm like the home girl.
Right.
Saying
your home girl talk to y'all.
Yes. Listen.
Right.
So but yeah, I mean, I've had men to purchase the book before and to read it. So they can still pull nuggets out of there because again, it's all scripturally based and you can pull it out. But yeah, I do address the woman.
Okay, women, let's keep them ears open. Okay. Now, as far as that T-shirt, is that available for purchase?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, it is. You can purchase this T-shirt on my website as well.
Okay, I see you got the website on the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give us that website one more time.
www.brianagwhitaker.com.
Y'all better go to there and get that shirt so you can be like, hey. Somebody walking toward you, be like, read this. If this ain't you, then just, have a nice day.
That's right. I'm letting you know, and I'm reminding myself at the same time.
That's right.
I'm not settling.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed you being on the show today. Don't forget to purchase these books and support. Please get her to come speak at one of your events or your workshops or whatever. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time for Stop the Silence. Yay! Yay!
Awesome.
Oh, Jean Arnold said it was a blessed book. I think she was trying to say that. Hey, Miss Lisa. Nothing less than God's best.
That's
all right.
That's right. Awesome.
Thank y'all all for joining us, and please share this video so someone else can be encouraged on this walk to stay pure.
That's right.
Thank you again.
Thank you. I had fun.
I did too.
It's great. And yes, you definitely can be on the show.
Oh, yeah. Listen, let me know. Let me know.